Welcome to the VHF UHF channel, and this is of course another radio tip for any VHF UHF listeners of scanner radios. One of the things that is often overlooked in scanner radio is the display, and we tend to look at only the frequency. But we don't often look around the frequency to see what are the little indicators and you know what do they mean. You know what, in your listening hobby, actually understanding what these little features in the display mean can actually make you go from I just don't know what's happening but I can't tune this signal to, oh, this is why I can't hear it well, or this is why it sounds weird, or this is why I don't understand what was happening. So in your instruction manual, and by the way, most manuals are available online, so if you have a scanner radio, you lost a book, no worries. Manual are almost all online and easy to find. You can go to the manufacturer's webpage, or you can just Google it and you'll see that a lot of these manuals are all online on PDF format. They all have one page where you will see the display, and there'll be little lines or arrows that are going to show you all the indicators that can actually turn on in the display and what they mean and what they do. It's easy to press a button on a scanner radio, activate some functionality here, and wonder why suddenly things don't actually work like they should. You always have, for the most part, on almost every scanner radio, a visual of a feature that's been turned on or off. And of course, the problem is they are often abbreviations. So you're like, oh, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. An example is sometimes people will have the attenuator on, and it will say in the display most of the time attenuator. So here it says on the bottom left of my display right now, ATT. And you start scanning and say, why is my scanner radio deaf suddenly? Well, maybe you have activated an attenuator or an RF gain that's too low, or so on. There is almost always an indication in the display of features that can be turned on or off in these receivers. And it's very important to understand what they mean. It's also important to understand if something shows up and you don't know what it is, how do you turn it off or on? It takes time, and some receivers are more complex than others. For example, this receiver has so many functionalities per button that it actually takes time to really get used to using it properly. More basic scanner radios will have less indicators, but also often have less features you can turn on or off. But it's important to understand the display properly. There's not a lot of people that actually do take the time to read the display, not just the numbers for the frequency, but what do the other little gizmos that appear in here, and the indications and the indicators, what do they mean and what do they do? So if there's one of the things that you should really take the time to view, is go take your manual and examine in the display what each little indication, what each little word means, in order to understand what feature you turned on or off. And at the same time, learn about that feature. It's not there just for the fun of it. Manufacturers don't add features just for the pleasure of adding a feature. They add it because it could be used for some types of listening, for some experience. Attenuation can be there because you might have stations that overload. You might want to add it in certain circumstances, and so on. So get your manual and check out the display. There's a lot more information than you think in there. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hope you like our little daily tips.